Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 24th of December 2022. As usual, before we get into it, if I could ask a favour, and that's if you would please subscribe to the channel. That'd be marvellous. Every subscriber helps, so please hit that button if you would. Right, today cast your mind all the way back to the early 1980s. New Wave of British Heavy Metal's everywhere. And one of the bands that were trying to make it back then, Black Rose. If you remember them, or even if you don't, doesn't matter because they were great. Well, they still are. They're still around today, but we'll get to that in a minute. The band's second album, Walk It How You Talk It, has just been reissued on a very limited run of 500 CDs. And that also includes the band's Nightmare EP, which came out a year or two before the album. And there's also a DVD of some live performances as well from back around about 1986, 1987, where the band are performing some of the tracks off Walk It How You Talk It. So it's excellent if you can get hold of one. So there's only 500. Well, there's 499 at least, because I've got one. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, back to it. Black Rose, their debut album, Boys Will Be Boys, marked the band up as a new wave of British heavy metal era band with some not inconsiderable talent and refinement, if refinement's the right word, as there was a bit of a more melodic element to their style rather than in your face heavy metal. That album's great. The melodic element would come more to the fore here on Walk It How You Talk It, whilst retaining plenty of, chugging monster riffs, excellent lead breaks, and there's some thumping choruses as well. Every song here is a winner, make no mistake about that, as indeed's the Nightmare EP, and I say you get both here. And if further evidence might be needed as to, how good Black Rose were with this album, the high energy live performances on that DVD and the enthusiastic crowd just show, that they were a band surely going places back then. But, however, there's always a but or a however, isn't there, unfortunately, with a lot of Nawabamira bands like this. Despite being armed with such a great album in Walk It How You Talk It, it didn't quite work out for him. It looked like it was going to do, but then the rug got pulled from under him a little bit. It was looking good, K-Tel, remember that label? They were all set to release the album over in the States, and the band was supposed to tour over there as well. But then, the not unusual legal issues blew up, which, if I remember rightly, were around a US band, also called Black Rose. Things got a bit confusing. The lawyers got a bit richer, and the band, our band, our UK version of Black Rose, got a little bit disillusioned and pretty much threw the towel in. Which is a bit of a shame, but at the same time good news that we can hear it again now, because Walk It How You Talk It would surely have gone down big in the States had it got a proper release. Because, the time it came out, 1986, over in America, you've got bands like Bon Jovi, Poison, Rat, and similar, who were cleaning up over there. And Black Rose weren't a million miles from that kind of style, and would surely have gone down a storm, but that's another story, isn't it? Anyway, the album itself, it's superb from start to finish. The opener, California, USA, and onwards, each song's forceful. We've got big riffs, we've got power chords plenty, we've got some really excellent lead work, big rhythm section, and powerful melodic vocals as well. Oh, and the choruses, each one's generally fist thumping and anthemic to boot as well. Perhaps none more than title track that really spits along at a pace and shout it out as well. I'd defy you to listen to either song, or indeed any song on Walk It How You Talk It, and not be impressed. All very much high class, hard, melodic rock, well written, enthusiastically performed over the entire album and indeed the EP as well. Tremendously recommended listen. Full marks to Lost Records for putting this together. If you can get your hands on a copy, I would seriously encourage you to do so. because once those 500 are gone, they're gone. As I record this, 24th of December 2022, the label's website is still showing some available for sale. Lost Realm Records, I'll put a link to that in the description box below, so you can go and see if there are any left. Black Rose would get together again around about 2006, and a few years later put out a new album, back then Cure for Your Disease. That's a cracker as well. And then earlier this year in 2022, they released a rather excellent WTF album as well. So that's another one for you to check out. And perhaps there's more to come from Black Rose. Hope so. But in the meantime, Walk It How You Talk It, superb stuff. Link to Lost Realm Records in the description box below. If there are still some left, snap them up. Snap them up. That's all I can say. Just quickly before I go, the original Sin reissue came in the post a couple of days back. We've got all sorts of postal delays here in the UK with the postal workers being on strike. But that arrived a couple of 3 days ago, so that'll be next. You know, another obscure Nawabin band from back then, who thankfully is having their stuff seen the light of day again. Anyway, that's all there is. Black Rose for now. Walk It How You Talk It. Go to Lost Realm Records, see if there's any left available. All right, thanks a lot. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and do take care. Oh, and of course, please subscribe before you go to the channel, because that would be marvellous. All right, thank you.